In 1911, an outdoorsman in Maine refunded 90 out of his first 100 customers because a single row of stitching failed on his hunting boots. He redesigned the seam, guaranteed the next batch for life, and built a heritage brand that still resoles those exact boots in the same state over a century later. Contrast that with a modern $600 luxury suit jacket from a multinational conglomerate that is engineered with thermoplastic adhesive specifically to bubble, warp, and self-destruct after its fourth trip to the dry cleaner. The price printed on a clothing tag is a complete fiction. It is a number optimized by corporate accountants to pay for real estate, runway shows, and multi-million-dollar marketing campaigns. It tells you absolutely nothing about what that garment will actually cost your bank account over its lifespan. To find the truth, you have to run the mathematics of wardrobe depreciation. You have to calculate the cost per wear. You take the initial retail price, add the real cost of maintenance or premature replacement, and divide it by the exact number of times the physical construction of the item can survive the real world before failing. We ran this equation on 8 massive menswear brands spanning basics, outerwear, tailoring, and footwear. 4 of these brands are weaponizing planned obsolescence to slowly drain your net worth. 4 of them are anomalies of pure engineering that actively protect your money. The math is absolute, and the results completely rewrite the rules of buying clothes. Brand 1, H&M, the short staple tax. We begin at the absolute baseline of mass production. You walk into H&M and purchase a standard plain crewneck t-shirt for $0. At the cash register, your brain logs this as a financial victory. You spent less than the price of a standard fast food lunch to secure an everyday wardrobe essential. But when you turn the garment inside out and analyze the physical fibers under magnification, the illusion of the bargain instantly vanishes. The fabric is knitted entirely from low-grade, short-staple commodity cotton. In the global textile supply chain, short staple cotton is the swept-up byproduct of the milling process. The individual cotton fibers are brief, weak, and uneven. To turn them into a yarn, the factory must spin them together loosely. The moment you wear this shirt, the natural friction of your skin and the motion of your arms pull at these short fibers. When you throw it into a standard household washing machine, the violent agitation snaps the weak fiber ends, causing them to tangle and curl into tiny, unsightly balls across the chest and torso. This process is called pilling. Furthermore, the ribbed collar lacks any internal elastane reinforcement or high-density taping. After 3 to 5 wash cycles, the structural tension of the neck opening completely collapses, warping into an asymmetric, wavy line commonly referred to as a bacon neck. Once a t-shirt pills and the collar bacon tracks, it can no longer be worn in a professional or casual setting without projecting a sloppy image. According to textile life cycle assessments, a fast fashion basic shirt retains its intended shape for a maximum of 10 wears. Let us run the real arithmetic. $15, $0 divided by 10, wears equals a cost per wear of $1. $50. Every single time you slide that shirt over your head, it costs you $1.50 out of pocket. To maintain a single plain black t-shirt in your wardrobe rotation for a year, you will have to buy 5 or 6 replacements. You are not saving money. You are paying a continuous, low-grade tax to wear a disposable, plastic-feeling rag that is actively disintegrating on your spine. Brand 2, Zara, the polyurethane illusion. You decide you need a rugged, modern outer layer for the autumn and winter seasons. You walk into a brightly lit Zara storefront and find a sleek, black, minimalist, asymmetrical motorcycle jacket. The retail tag reads $150. Zurwozar. It fits perfectly in the fitting room mirror, mimicking the drape and weight of a premium heritage leather piece from a high-end designer. You purchase it, assuming you have acquired a durable piece of outerwear for a fraction of the market rate. You did not buy a heritage piece. You bought a petroleum byproduct with a built-in expiration date. The material composition label reads 100% polyurethane. Polyurethane is a liquid synthetic polymer that is sprayed or rolled onto a cheap, thin, woven polyester backing fabric and chemically stamped with an artificial grain texture to mimic the appearance of genuine animal hide. While it looks pristine on a retail hanger, polyurethane is highly unstable when exposed to the elements of the real world. The terminal failure mode of this jacket is a chemical process called hydrolysis. The moment you step outside, the polyurethane layer begins interacting with the ambient humidity in the air, the UV radiation from the sun, and the natural heat and sweat evaporating from your body. This moisture slowly infiltrates the polymer chains, severing the chemical bonds holding the plastic layer to the fabric backing. Within 12 to 18 months of regular deployment, the surface of the jacket begins to micro-blister. Soon after, the plastic literally begins to crack, peel, and flake off in sticky, messy black chunks around the collar, the armpits, and the elbows. There is no leather conditioner that can save it. There is no tailor on earth who can repair it. The jacket is experiencing molecular decomposition. Assuming you wear this jacket 60 times across 2 brief winter seasons before the flaking becomes visually embarrassing, let us execute the calculation. $150. Ours 0 divided by 60 wears equals a cost per wear of $250. Over a 10-year window, replacing this self-destructing shell every 2 seasons will drain $750, $0, from your bank account. The initial low price was simply a psychological hook to lock you into an involuntary replacement loop. Brand 3. Armani Exchange, the synthetic surcharge. This is the tier where the fashion industry transitions from passive cutting of corners to active, unadulterated wealth extraction. You want to upgrade your style for social events, so you walk into a department store and purchase an Armani Exchange casual button-down sport shirt. The retail price is $100. The prominent logo on the chest fills your brain with associations of Italian luxury, Milanese tailoring, and elite tailoring heritage. But Armani Exchange is not an elite tailoring house. It is a mass-market diffusion license owned and operated to capture the disposable income of aspirational consumers who shop via logos rather than specifications. Open the side seam of that shirt and read the mandatory material disclosure label: 83% polyester, 17% viscose. Let us run the raw manufacturing ledger on this item. Polyester and viscose are completely synthetic and semi-synthetic fibers manufactured at scale from petroleum and wood pulp. The raw material and construction cost to produce a synthetic woven shirt in a mass production facility in the Southeast Asian corridor sits strictly between $8, $00, and $12, $00 per unit. The fabric is thin, lightweight, and completely non-breathable. It traps your natural body heat, causes immediate sweating, and physically locks in odor-causing bacteria within the synthetic weave far longer than any natural organic fiber. Because the factory lines are optimized purely for speed and volume, the stitch density runs at a low 6 to 7 stitches per inch using cheap, brittle monofilament thread. After roughly 30 runs through a standard laundry cycle, the high friction at the cuffs and collar causes the thin synthetic threads to fray, split, and unravel. $100. $2 divided by 30 wears yields a brutal cost per wear of $3.33. You are paying over $3 every single time you wear a plastic shirt that costs $10 to manufacture. The $88. Your discrepancy between the factory floor and the store register is a pure, unearned brand tax. You are literally paying a premium to act as a walking advertisement for a corporate portfolio. Brand 4. Hugo Boss. O Luxo Colado. You need a professional suit for client meetings, presentations, or formal events. You walk into a premium retail environment and invest $600 in a Hugo Boss mainline wool suit. The price tag is high enough to convince you that you are making a serious multi-year investment in your professional wardrobe asset portfolio. The branding projects, German engineering, technical precision, and executive authority. But if you open the inner lining of that jacket and look at the physical architecture, the engineering story falls apart. Hugo Boss manufactures its core mainline suiting using fused construction. In authentic tailoring, a jacket holds its three-dimensional structure because a floating piece of natural horsehair canvas is stitched inside the chest panels. Hugo Boss replaces this skilled labor with chemical adhesive. They take a synthetic interlining canvas, coat it entirely in a thermoplastic adhesive resin, and use an industrial heat press to literally glue the interlining directly to the inside of the outer wool fabric. It takes seconds to execute and costs pennies in labor. But thermoplastic glue is the ultimate bottleneck in garment longevity. The heat radiating from your body, the moisture from your sweat, and the aggressive perchloroethylene chemical solvents used by commercial dry cleaners all relentlessly attack the molecular bonds of that glue. After roughly 40 wears, or after its third or fourth cycle through an industrial dry cleaning press, the adhesive bond shatters. The outer wool fabric physically lifts away from the stiff internal glued lining, creating horrific, unfixable bubbles, ripples, and blisters across the chest and lapels of the jacket. This terminal failure mode is called delamination. Once a suit jacket delaminates, it is completely totaled. No tailor can open it and reglue it. No iron can flatten it out. The suit must be thrown directly in the trash. $600. $1 divided by 40 wears equals a staggering cost per wear of $15. $0. Every single time you walk into an office or an event in that suit, you are burning $15. You paid a premium luxury price tag for the exact same chemical shortcut found in a $200 fast fashion garment. You are not paying for master tailors. You are paying to fund a $330 million annual corporate advertising budget. The line of demarcation for brands. 4 different price brackets. Every single one of them represents a leaky pipe in your personal finances because their business models rely on you calculating the value of a garment on the day you buy it, rather than the day you are forced to throw it away. Now, we cross the line. We leave the marketing-driven conglomerates behind and look at the engineering anomalies. These are the 4 brands that completely reverse the math, putting your money into the physical substance of the garment to drive your cost per wear down to pennies. Brand 5. Kirkland Signature, the factory direct asset. Most men walk directly past the stacked clothing tables at Costco on their way to buy groceries or electronics. They look at the generic Kirkland signature cardboard packaging and immediately categorize it as low-grade, cheap warehouse apparel. This assumption is a massive financial mistake. Costco operates on a fundamentally different retail architecture than any other company on this list. They do not have a clothing marketing budget. They do not run fashion shows. They do not pay designers or influencers. Their model is straightforward. They identify the exact global factories that manufacture high-end, name-brand apparel, contract them to produce private label versions using identical or superior specifications, and cap their retail markup at a strict 14 to 15%. Consider the Kirkland signature 5-pocket denim jeans, which retail year-round for roughly $15. Zero. The fabric composition is a heavy, durable 99% ring-spun cotton and 1% spandex for subtle, functional stretch. The denim weight sits around 12 to 13 ounces per square yard, a substantial, rugged weight that completely outclasses the thin, flimsy denim used by fashion brands charging 3 times the price. The seams are locked with high-tensile, heavy-duty thread using classic chain stitching, and the stress points are reinforced with genuine metal rivets. Because the raw cotton is thick and the construction is modeled after industrial workwear, a pair of Kirkland jeans will easily survive 150 wears of brutal, daily physical utility before the fabric thins out or experiences a structural failure. Let us execute the math. $15 divided by 150 wears equals a cost per wear of exactly $0. 10 cents a wear. It is an unmatchable financial baseline. You are paying purely for the physical cotton, the steel rivets, and the factory labor. Every single cent of your money is sitting on your hips, completely stripped of corporate inflation. Brand 6. Uniqlo, the long staple antidote. If the H&M t-shirt is a disposable liability designed to rot in your laundry basket, the Uniqlo Supima cotton t-shirt is the exact engineered antidote. Uniqlo operates less like a traditional fashion house and more like an industrial manufacturing firm, focusing obsessively on raw material sourcing and fabric consistency. Their flagship plain t-shirt retails for $19. $90. The fabric tag reveals a verified composition of 100% Supima cotton. Supima is a strict trademarked designation for American-grown extra-long staple, ELS, cotton. Out of the entire global annual cotton harvest, less than 1% of the crop possesses fibers long enough and strong enough to qualify for the Supima name. Because the individual organic cotton fibers are structurally twice as long as the short staple trash used by fast fashion brands, they do not require a loose twist to form a yarn. They are spun tight, smooth, and dense. When the shirt experiences heavy friction or goes through the violent spin cycle of a washing machine, the fiber ends do not snap or unravel. The fabric completely resists pilling, maintains its silky hand feel, and retains its deep dye saturation wash after wash. Furthermore, the neckline is engineered with a high gauge, reinforced rib knit stitch bound together with interior shoulder-to-shoulder taping that locks the collar in place, preventing it from ever stretching into a bacon neck. A Uniqlo Supima shirt will comfortably, cleanly survive 50 full wash-and-wear cycles before showing the slightest sign of structural fatigue. $19. $90 divided by 50 wears equals a cost per wear of $0. 39. For $4 extra up front compared to the fast fashion tier, you secure 5 times the physical lifespan. Your cost per wear drops by over 70%, and you completely eliminate the frustration of wearing misshapen, pilled clothing. Brand 7. Spear and Mackay. The death of the brand tax. How do you completely dismantle the $50 per wear financial destruction of a glued luxury suit from a brand like Hugo Boss or Armani? You eliminate the glue, bypass the department store retail markup, and source from historical mills. Spear and Mackay is a direct-to-consumer tailoring outfit operating out of Canada. They do not maintain expensive retail storefronts on luxury avenues. They do not run television ads or sponsor professional sports leagues. Their core suits retail for an honest price of $400. Grosseurs. But open the lining of a Spear and Mackay jacket, and you will find the exact structural engineering that traditional luxury houses gatekeep behind a 4-digit price tag. The jacket is built using authentic half-canvas construction. A floating internal skeleton made of woven natural horsehair and linen is physically stitched into the chest and lapels using specialized blind stitching machines. Because there is zero thermoplastic resin or adhesive inside the chest, there is absolutely no chemical bottleneck. The jacket cannot delaminate. You can wear it in the heat, get caught in the rain, and send it to the dry cleaner, and the chest will never bubble or ripple. The horsehair canvas possesses a natural structural memory. Over months of exposure to your body heat, it slowly molds itself to the specific physical contours of your torso, improving its drape and fit the more you wear it. The exterior fabric is 100% pure merino wool sourced directly from Vitale Barberis Canonico, a legendary textile mill in northern Italy that has been weaving premium apparel fabrics continuously since the year 1663. A half-canvas suit built with authentic Italian merino wool will comfortably withstand 150 wears of heavy professional deployment. $400. Also, divided by 150 wears equals a cost per wear of $2.66. Compare that directly to the $600 glued designer suit that runs $15. We're $1 a wear. The direct-to-consumer option charges you less money up front for a garment that costs 5 times less to own on a per-wear basis. That is the power of pure engineering over marketing. Brand 8. L. Bean. The 100-year standard. We finish with the ultimate example of a long-term wardrobe asset. In 1911, Leon Leonwood Bean returned from a hunting trip with wet, freezing feet, realized the traditional all-leather boots of the era were flawed, and combined a waterproof vulcanized rubber bottom with a durable leather upper. He created the Maine hunting shoe, now known worldwide as the Bean boot. Today, LL Bean remains privately held, and the core Bean boot still retails for $149. US fares. It is manufactured inside 2 continuous operational facilities in Maine. The vulcanized rubber grid bottoms are molded in Lewiston, and the premium, water-resistant top-grain leather uppers are cut and stitched by hand in Brunswick. Every single pair passes through American hands operating under a century-old standard of quality control. The leather is sewn to the rubber using a distinct, heavy-duty triple-needle chain-stitch configuration that prevents water infiltration and resists tearing under extreme lateral stress. But the true mathematical brilliance of the Bean boot is its built-in infrastructure for repair. The leather upper is virtually indestructible if treated with basic mink oil or beeswax. When the chain-link rubber tread eventually wears smooth after 10 or 15 winters of heavy friction against concrete, salt, And ice, you do not throw the boots into a landfill. You box them up and ship them back to the factory floor in Freeport, Maine. For a fraction of the cost of a new pair, Herzau, Albin's local craftsman, will physically cut the worn-out rubber bottoms off, preserve your perfectly broken-in leather uppers, stitch on a brand-new vulcanized rubber sole and chain tread bottom, replace the brass eyelets, insert new laces, and ship them back to your door. With a single factory resoling cycle, a single pair of bean boots will easily cross one. Renault's Zero Individual wears over a 20-year operational lifespan. 48,000 Renault divided by 1. Renault Zagger wears equals a cost per wear of 14 cents a wear to deploy an iconic piece of footwear history that completely shields your feet from sub-zero winter environments. Compare that to the $2.50 per wear cost of a fast-fashion plastic jacket that falls apart in 18 months. One is an active drain on your personal wealth. The other is a lifetime asset. The final audit. Your wardrobe is not a collection of aesthetic choices. It is a financial portfolio of depreciating assets and compounding liabilities. The global fashion industry thrives on the assumption that you will remain blind to the long-term mathematics of construction. They want you to stare at the initial price tag and focus on the external logo, completely unaware that they are using short staple fibers, petroleum-grade plastics, and industrial glue to lock you into a continuous cycle of failure and replacement. Walk to your closet right now. Pull down your most frequently worn garments. Open the linings. Run the pinch test along the chests of your jackets to feel for the stiff, uniform sheets of commercial glue. Look closely at the fabric of your shirts to check for the microballs of short staple pilling. Examine your zippers to see if they are milled from solid, heavy brass or stamped from lightweight, fragile zinc alloys. If your wardrobe is built on a foundation of corporate logos and chemical shortcuts, you are holding a stack of mounting invoices that you will inevitably be forced to pay again next season. It is time to stop funding the marketing departments of conglomerates that do not respect your hard-earned money. Shift your focus entirely from the marketing to the engineering. If you own a piece of clothing or footwear that has crossed the 10-year mark and driven its cost per wear down to pennies through sheer build quality, drop the brand name and the approximate number of wears in the comments below. Help the next man see the arithmetic, break the replacement loop, and build a wardrobe that actually protects his wealth. If you want to see the exact financial breakdown of why a $150 fast fashion winter jacket actually costs you significantly more money per year than a $600 heritage coat milled from virgin wool, watch our deep dive analysis on the outerwear market linked below. Subscribe if you want the unvarnished engineering numbers behind your clothing. We follow the money, so you stop wasting yours.